Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. There's no limit to Karen's madness, but this time surprised even me. Karen decided to sue because she was charged 20 cents more for a cocktail. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. This is false advertising. I'm suing. Here in the city, there's a sugar tax on sugared beverages. Not going to get into how I feel about it, but we have to charge 1 cent per fluid ounce, 29.5 milliliters for the normals. Although the tax is charged on the factory, think red and white cursive font soft drink, they charge us for the sugar tax, so we pass that on to the customer. 1 cent per fluid ounce is a surprisingly large tax for 2-liter bottles, 12 packs, etc., and this is a small family grocery store. I wanted to be more transparent with the sugar tax, so it's separately marked on the tax breakdown part of the receipt. This is important to know for what's next. Introducing Crazy Karen. She's a run-of-the-mill Karen, so we'll call her K. K. Do you work here? Me. Yes, I do. How can I help you? K. Why was I charged an extra 20 cents for my red and white cursive font soft drink? Me. Looks at receipt. Ah, yes, that's the tax on sugary beverages. K. Why was I charged separately for this? Me. Ma'am, for transparency, we've separated out the sugar tax calculation from the product. K. This is false advertising. You should be charging the price on the label. Has she not heard of sales tax? That's always been charged separately. This occurred 8 months after the tax was introduced, so I don't know what her excuse is. Me. We've always calculated sales tax, tobacco abatement fees, etc. separately. K. No, you just started doing this. Me. I've worked here for 3 years, and it's always been like this. I'd be happy to refund your purchase today. K. This is false advertising. I'll be suing you. Ah, the S word. First time I've actually been scared with lawsuits at work, surprisingly. Luckily, the GM told me what to do because it's totally not the first time someone threatened us with a lawsuit. Me. Ma'am, due to your intent to file a lawsuit against us, we are unable to help you. Please have your lawyer send our lawyer a certified letter of the pending lawsuit to address. K. But, me. Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store due to pending legal action. I've been instructed to call the police if you do not comply. K. But, me. Ma'am, you must leave the premises due to pending legal action. Please have your lawyer send our lawyer a certified letter of the pending lawsuit to address. At this point, my other co-workers heard Karen screaming and yelling, so they helped me escort her off the store. She was crying by the time we moved her out of the store, screaming at us about how we'll regret it and that we'll get in big trouble. Tell that to the lawyers, Karen. What's that old saying again? All right, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And our second story. Entitled Aunt expects my dad to pay for everything and finally gets what she deserves. Backstory. My dad is a doctor. His family was extremely strict on him and only him. He was the oldest and his father never liked him. This sort of strict punishment somehow led him to have a successful career and lifestyle. He lived with his 2 brothers, sister, mother, and father till he moved out of their house and went far away. Cast: MD, my dad; EA, entitled Aunt; my mom; I, me. Also, big reminder, all these conversations below will be paraphrased into the basic meaning as I either don't remember or it's too long to put in a story. When my dad left his family to be with my mom, they didn't help him in any way possible. Whether it was financial or emotionally, they denied. Everything changed when he finally managed to get a medical degree, however. We finally managed to be well educated, left for a better home, and managed a successful life. I remember this one time when it all started. It was years ago, and I remember it went something like this. EA: I've noticed you've finally gotten your medical degree, right? MD: Yes, we've managed to also get a new house, and things are going great. Thanks for asking. EA: Oh, that's nice. So do you think you could give anything for your supporting family? My mom's confused, but my dad speaks hesitantly. MD, maybe. How much do you need? I think I can help. EA, of course, as expected, any good brother should take care of his family. This repeated several times. My dad ended up giving large chunks of money in the 10,000 ranges. During this time, his abusive dad left their grandma and went far away on his own into somewhere we don't know anymore. This caused my aunt to become even more spoiled and message my dad something that went like this a few years ago. EA, what the heck? Why have you stopped paying for our expenses? Don't you love your family? My dad sees this, is blinded by love for his family. Entitled aunt also uses their mom as an excuse for my dad to pay. This results in even more money going to them, and entitled aunt using it to buy lavish trips around the world for herself instead of food or housing. She wastes roughly $25 to $50K in a 4-year food plan in almost 6 months. Just about 3 years ago, entitled aunt becomes married. I don't know how she did it. Her husband wasn't in a good financial situation, and big surprise, she has a child. When her child was just a few years old, she wanted my dad to pay for his clothes, food, toys, babysitter, and almost even education, with all her money going to her, including her husband's money. This went on until now. My mom slapped some sense into my dad. I was on my mother's side and convinced him to let them manage to handle themselves. My dad had a rough time deciding, but decided to stop giving entitled aunt any more money. By this time, entitled aunt was infuriated. She threatened to sue my dad, from what I remembered, and said that they'd all die if he didn't help. She basically messaged my dad and mom this. EA, why have you stopped paying for our financial situation? MM, you mean your expenses on expensive hotels and trips? Entitled aunt gets mad at this and replies, EA, that is a lie. Grandmother has helped me and she deserves this money. I'm not spending the money on anything expensive. I only use 4-star hotels, so it's fine. MM, you're honestly just spoiled. That's it. This money was meant for you to spend on food. Unfortunately, you broke the boundary and spent it on yourself. We won't help you anymore until you learn your lesson. Good luck. EA, you ungrateful bee-turds! You'll apologize for this. My traumatized dad wanted to help but managed to let go. So far, we've never heard from her again, and I'm happy about it. I honestly hope she managed to get a better habit, perhaps a job like my hard-working parents, and be good with money. Sometimes my dad helps my grandmother pay for groceries as he knows she won't waste it on treating herself. Now we live in a healthier life, one where entitled aunt doesn't control our lives, and now that he stopped paying for her lifestyle, things have been way better, frankly. I only use 4-star hotels, so it's fine. And our final story. Grandma also got the bank. So around 2011, my grandma had a fall and it messed up her leg. After about a year of constant infection and other issues, she got it amputated. Because I was 17 and poor, my grandma and I had a pretty cool deal. I could use her car whenever I needed as long as I drove her to appointments, shopping, etc. I was down because free car, and she'd always get me lunch or something. So after a few years, we go to the bank. We went every other week for her to get out cash. Grandma always wanted to go into the bank and talk to the people rather than use the ATM to withdraw. No big deal. She's old and lonely, so I'd wheel her in and we'd wait in line so she can make small talk. We get to a teller she knows who greets her as usual. Grandma knows her name and they do the small talk and we get to the withdrawal. Teller, I just need your license, Grandma. Grandma, here you are. This was usual. She'd show it each time. Teller, sorry, Grandma, we can't accept. It's been expired for 2 years. Grandma, well, yeah, I can't drive. One leg, remember? And I used it last week and the week before, etc. Teller, sorry, we can't accept it. Grandma, well, let me talk to Bill, the manager. Teller fetches Bill, who greets Grandma. They make small talk. Then he tells her the same thing. I ask if I can withdraw it for her. I show my license, same last name. I have an account there too that she originally helped me get and her name was on. No dice. They don't offer any other solutions, just no. So Grandma just smiles and says she'll be back. I roll her outside and she apologizes that today will be longer than our usual 2-hour errand trip. I didn't have much to do, so whatever. We go to the DMV, same plaza, and spend 2 hours getting her temporary ID, no photo, and wheel back over to the bank. We roll in and Bill greets her, but says he still can't let her withdraw. Probably assumed she'd just try to get a different teller. Grandma, not a problem. Waldo 06, since these people treat your grandma, a loyal customer for 45 years like crap, gave her no warning they were changing policy, and offered no help on a solution, close your account. I'm a bit skeptical, but do what she says. I only had about $80 in it anyways. Bill, threatening to close your account won't let us withdraw your grandma's funds. Me, not threatening, I want to close. Bill, okay, your loss. Grandma, our family won't support a bank that's so impersonal, so now I want to close my accounts. Bill, well, we can't without ID. Grandma, well, here's this flimsy piece of paper from the DMV. No picture that says who I am. Bill starts getting nervous, apologizes, and says he can do the withdrawal, but Grandma is steadfast into doing it. Bill has to make a bunch of calls and begs Grandma to stay. No dice. Grandma withdraws $50K in cash, the most they would allow to hand to a person on short notice, and has the bank transfer another $400K or so to her new bank of choice. We went there right after the DMV and opened a new account for her and I didn't mention it earlier as it gives it away. Bill apologized the whole time, was trying to get her to stay, on offering all sorts of rewards and preferred checking, etc. Grandma made a big scene about it, telling everyone that they wouldn't let this poor amputee old lady get out her own money, and the competitor's bank offers a $100 sign-on bonus for opening an account, and everyone should go there instead. Bill looked like he was passing a kidney stone when he realized she was serious, and how much money he just lost their branch. Obligatory, yes, I know they want ID for security purposes, and it's a good practice. For 2 years, they never cared or mentioned it, and suddenly, bam. If they'd done something like, hey, this time we can accept it because we know you, but we just updated our policy, so you will need to get an updated ID, Grandma would have been cool. But nope, they didn't even offer things like go use the ATM or write your grandson a check and he can cash it. They were just being stubborn on policy. The bank had 2 employees, at least, one of them the bank manager who could personally vouch for Grandma and still wouldn't budge. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.